Look, Captain, the inspection of the ship's systems is complete. The tech priests are reporting that the machine spirits are calm and satisfied. Everything is ready for onward travel, except there is an issue you must be made aware of. Cassia makes a quick nervous gesture, adjusting the adornment over her third eye. I've been studying the records left by the vessel's previous navigator. I want to double-check the route to Dagonus, and discovered that it does not match the one recorded in the atlas. It is more than a minor warp fluctuation. The route has been wiped out. It can no longer be used for travelling. To make matters worse, I started checking the paths from the atlas, one after the other, and saw the same thing everywhere. The warp is roiling with an ominous storm, bursting with vivid and screaming colours. It will not hinder our movement, but all previous knowledge is now utterly useless. What does that actually mean for us? Adenta angrily chops the air with the side of her palm. Warp storms are our enemies, just like heretics and demons. It is a shame that it can't be dispersed with a flame or a bolter. Now we can be certain that problems within astropathic communication in the Koronus Expanse are no coincidence. There is a warp disturbance in your way, Lord Captain. It is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. This means you need to locate the key worlds of the Von Valencia's protectorate as soon as possible. I'm talking about Janus, Dagonus, and Kiava Gamma. Charting new routes so that they can be reached and restoring control will be the necessary next step. What would be the consequences of losing contact with the worlds be? A world deprived of connection to its neighbouring systems and the Koronus Expanse's infrastructure can only rely on itself, and their capabilities are often limited. For example, Janus does not have a fleet of its own. Pirates, cultists, heretics, xenos, anyone could prey on the helpless planet. The loss of communication is a threat to your position. A rogue trader with no protectorate to back them is one that grows weaker by the day. The Voxmaster is entirely correct. You are a rogue trader of Dolores von Valencius, the successor to Theodora von Valencius, one of the most influential women this side of the moor. But you are also new to the business of governing. Many will doubt your competence and try to carve up your protectorate so they can snatch a piece for themselves. It is important to show your potential allies and foes that you are in control of the situation, which is why the sooner we reclaim these lost worlds, the better. Tell me about Janus. The surface of Janus was altered extensively so the planet could be designated an agri-world. It is a powerful food base, capable of supplying the burgeoning protectorate and exporting provisions to the outer worlds at the same time. Janus owes much of its prosperity to the Governor House of Viat. Under its leadership, the world has grown ever more prosperous year after year, securing shipments and taxes while keeping the workforce tightly controlled. Okay. Sounds useful, but also a little concerning. What is Kiava Gamma? Industrial world Kiava Gamma is being managed by the Governor House of Gaprak and supplies your protectorate with rare mineral resources. Additionally, the planet features an Adeptus Mechanicus manufactorum that processes materials and prepares them for shipment. I testify that Kiava Gamma is a world marked by the Omnisci's patronage. By his grace, the manufactorums of the colony are inhabited by committed and industrious machine spirits. Heinrich coughs quietly. Mistress Tullyman neglected to mention that the Kiava Gamma Manufactorum also supplies heavy machinery, from forage harvesters to vessel systems and components. Abelard turns his hard eyes on Heinrich's. You display commendable knowledge of our world's manufacturing capabilities, Van Kalox. I can read. Please do me off surface. Not the response he was looking for. What do I need to know about Dagonus? Dagonus is the heart and soul of your protectorate. It is where the main administrative resources and storage facilities are, and so is the Von Valencia's palace. If you would like to know, this is where you will publicly accept the title of Rogue Trader. Dagonus is a major administrative hub that runs the cargo fleet and keeps track of finances. Abelard, what is your opinion? Which world should we deal with first? I am inclined to believe Janus, because we have prior business there. Abelard strokes his beard for a few seconds before giving a hesitant reply. Rediscovering the Agri world will supply your protectorate with something none of your servants could do without. Sustenance. The importance of basic supplies should not be underestimated. Just look at footfall in its current pitiful state. On the other hand, I am concerned by the rumours concerning Kiava Gamma. There have been no problems on Janus for many years, but something is very wrong with the industrial world right now. Delay may cost us the entire planet. Well, Jesus, pick one! I trust I don't have to explain the capital world. Losing it, oh my god, am I going to lose something no matter what the fuck I do? Losing it would make us the laughingstock of the other dynasties. Besides, the loss of chronicles and ledgers would spell a bureaucratic catastrophe. So all three systems are equally vital to the protectorate. It falls to you to decide which should be brought into the fold before the rest, Lord Captain. Ugh. Very well, our course is clear. Do my officers have any other issues that require immediate attention? That is all, Lord Captain. The vessel and the crew await your instructions and are ready to depart footfall immediately, should you desire so. You've put me in quite a pickle. I'm really not entirely sure whom you wish me to rescue first. Heh. Now, I do believe I have to talk to people. Look for a cache in the old tunnel. Oh, that's right, I can't do that. No, it's a world. Meet a junta on the ship. Okie dokie. I gotta speak to Jai. Talk to Heinrichs. And I thought that Victus wanted me to do something, but I guess not. Victus? No. Apparently she didn't want anything. Okay, well, let's see. Heinrichs is in front of me. We'll start with him. Heinrichs, what is your... Oh, other side.
You have my complete attention.
Well, that is good to know. You want to discuss the nature of your mission?
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Fair. That is fair. It seems a bit officious, but sure. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship. I welcome the chance to assist the Inquisition with its inquiries, Van Kalox. I do not object to you personally, but I find the continuous presence of an Inquisition agent at my side slightly unnerving. You wouldn't be on my ship if I had any say the matter. Wow. Look, Captain, your enthusiasm is commendable. The interrogator smiles, but his eyes remain cold. Oh, that hurts. To business, then. The cult of the Final Dawn. The madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Koronus Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. Which one's the capital world? I don't know. Lord Imperium succeeded. Why would Auto Xenos agents investigate a chaos cult? Yeah. You're well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Dolores. Yes. Initially, our arrival in the Koronus Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos. But there is more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I'll be able to reveal the full truth someday, but right now, I ask you to display humility and patience. A chaos cult in my protectorate. Heinrichs, are you laying an accusation against my dynasty? Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter that he was willing to show lenience towards my actions that would otherwise be interpreted as radical. Heinrichs nods. That is correct. I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised. Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of soul and mind, even in someone who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. Okay, you have spies in the Von Valencius' worlds? The person I mentioned is not a spy, but a secretary in the Administratum Department on Dargonus. Still don't know if it's Dargonus or Dargonus? I have no clue. The planet's governor and Theodora were fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath to the Golden Throne and eliminate threats to the Imperium, which the Koronus Expanse has in abundance. His name is Achilles Scalander. Scalander? As soon as we contact Dargonus, I will introduce you as the new head of the dynasty. I am sure you will appreciate the presence of such an advisor among your subjects, and I suggest you heed his words at least occasionally. Okay, I want to know where it's called the Final Dawn. Chaos worshippers. Most often agents of the throne run into lone renegades stirring up the rabble. Insane prophets and hysteric visionaries preaching the end of days. A passing comet, a mutant rebellion, an onslaught of monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort and the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne was spent before we established a connection between these heretics. However, the cult of the Final Dawn is something far greater. Oops, there's no far there. It's something greater than a gaggle of misguided... a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune tellers. They cleverly spread their agents all over the Koronus Expanse, disseminating heresy among honest people of the Imperium worlds. There is a central strategy to their actions that changes whenever we get too close. And finally, they have enough military power to have had the 2 ships that we were sent after them later discovered as wreckage. The growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us, but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in, day out. Heinrich sighs. After the events on Rykar Minoris, I suspected the cult might have built its nest inside Winterscale's domain, but latest reports indicate that it is your protectorate that is harbouring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chances of getting close to their secrets. Oh, what the hell. Chaos treads softly, Dolores. The main danger of secret cults and sects is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and be a monstrous fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of the rogue traders' planets does not mean the dynasty head herself is a chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valencius was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant. I am not surprised. Heinrich regards you with a probing look. Our bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. If it is indeed so, it is in your best interest to do whatever is necessary to redeem yourself. Excuse me, I don't have to redeem myself or prove myself. I am innocent until proven guilty, sir. And then perhaps we get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation. I've already agreed to give you a place aboard my ship. What else? The road trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. I have to go there for another purpose anyway. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that has fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even the followers of the Omnissiah themselves. Bring Heinrich to Kiava Gamma. Okay. I will be frank. The answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually goes beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the systems on the Koronus Expanse is already lost. May the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again. Let us assume Kiava Gamma has fallen to heresy. What then? Will you again propose we destroy an entire planet? Heinrich stares you down. On Rykar Minoris, you made a decision that sent billions of souls into the grasp of the archenemy. An unreasonable and unforgettably high price for a small handful of people saved by your mercy. Do I consider it a worthy exchange? I most certainly do not. Will I make every effort to make sure such an exchange does not happen again? Of course I will. Sentimentality is a luxury I cannot afford. I do not believe you lack compassion. You did not stop me after all, although you certainly could have tried. I guess sometimes the good of the Imperium demands we turn a blind eye to the fate of its individual servants. The interrogator's eyes narrow. I haven't said I would not like to be able to afford such luxury. In fact, deep down, I understand why you acted that way. I've yet to eliminate the understanding and acceptance within myself, but I will. No. As long as you buy me, you won't, sir. Why did your suspicion fall on Kiava Gamma of all places? Disjointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Additionally, not long ago, a vessel from that world arrived at Footfall. The reports from the crew were confused and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion. Oh, that's just swell. We met a Chaos Space Marine on Rykar Minoris. Do we risk running into his brothers? I'm gonna assume that's Aurora? Because I don't really remember any other Space Marines. I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later, Dolores. Chaos Marines siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently, pulling their puppet strings from a respectable distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Space Marines in the Koronus Expanse and not an entire company. I won't let anyone throw their weight around on my worlds, be they servants of chaos, xenos, or heretics. A commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fates of billions of people and dozens of imperial worlds in her hands, which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planets, lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled up in their roots. That is enough discussion about the archenemy servants. Tell me about the Drukhari who stole Rykard's son. Heinrich winces. The Drukhari, one of the branches of the Aldari, an ancient and vicious Xenos race. These creatures are a living terror to ordinary people who fall prey to their raids, for the simple reason that the victims are not killed outright, but instead become their playthings. Just as you and I need air to survive, the Drukhari require psychic energy born from torment and pain. Ugh, that's most unfortunate. Which they extract from their captors with uncanny expertise. Their ships, which are difficult to mistake for any other, arrive suddenly and undetected. Their stealth technologies greatly surpass the capabilities of the standard Imperium auger arrays. The objective of their raids is never to capture a world or a ship. No, they're only interested in fresh victims. After filling their holds with living captives, they disappear into the webway, a different dimension which conceals their greatest stronghold, Kamara, the dark city of the Drukhari from which none can hope to escape. Sorry, Kamora, that's an O. Heinrich studies your expression. I do not know why the Drukhari stole Rykard's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's prophecies. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played into the archenemy's designs, or perhaps Aurora's divinations, in fact, described the Drukhari's actions. There is only one thing I can say with absolute certainty. There is no alliance between the cult of the Final Dawn and the Xenos. It is simply impossible. And let's go about my business. Is there anything else I need to know? Let us depart from business matters, Heinrich. You once promised You once promised to entertain me with a compelling conversation. Surely this is not what you had in mind. I do remember our exchange. For the time being, however, I would prefer to focus on my direct responsibilities. Hear a note of regret in Heinrich's voice as he shakes his head. Perhaps later, after Kiavagamma. This dude is going to make me wait until after we go to some random-ass planet? Heinrichs! Oh, my soul. Heinrichs inclines his head. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. Ugh. Rude. Understandable, but rude. Okie dokie. Who else did we need to see? We need to see Jai, who's yonder way. Jai.
Allow me to thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Sherin. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Sherin. I will watch your back, if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted?
Was there some business you wish to discuss?
Oh, Sherin, I did manage to spark your interest. Allow me to invite you to a more private place. My words are meant for your ears alone.
Does everybody want alone time in my chambers? I just left the damn place. You should have been queuing up at the door. Hello. Why did you put me all the way over there? That was awkward. I can't even turn around. Oh, there we go. Oh, except now I can't see myself. There we go. That angle totally works. The flickering light of dozens of candles oh, yeah, I suppose there are candles over here, I guess. And I suppose there are candles on the chandelier. Yeah, okay. Plays across Jai's face, making her small smile appear even more mysterious. Shireen, the Exalted One himself brought us together the day you crossed Vladame's threshold. He led us to the cargo and gave his blessing for its return. Do you know what people on my world say when such a thing happens? What's gained is to be shared with your neighbor. That should have been... So you got a single close mark, but that should be a single quotation mark there. She points to the containers in front of her. Oh, yeah, there are containers there. Yep. One contains a polished Eldari rifle, a rare model, and the... Sniper rifle? Actually, I can't use Eldari weapons anyway. And the other holds an ornate sword. I am sharing what I've gained with you. Please accept these humble gifts in honor of our wildly successful, though suddenly struck, friendship. Wanderer's Portent, Blood Seeker Clave. Clave? That was a clave. The Laz. It can only perform Deadeye shots? This is 2 AP. Whenever the wielder scores a critical hit with a single shot attack, they gain additional attacker's turn. Yeah, but what are the odds of a critical hit? And again, 2 actions plus the Eldari weapon proficiency. I don't see that happening. One-handed melee weapon. This Clave's area attack has an increased area of effect. Okay. I have to see if it's worth it for our blood. A truly wonderful gift. I accept it with gratitude. Yet more Xeno heresy. You have some nerve trying to peddle this filth to a true servant of the Empire. We are here to exchange pleasantries. What is it you want to discuss? You consider these gifts. My lilies and forces are equipped with deadlier weapons than this. I knew you'd appreciate the Xenos' mastery of their craft. Jai beams at you, curling a lock of black hair around an augmented finger. After a brief pause, Shiokula continues. So, the matter I wanted to discuss with you is related to my business. You know that I sell Xeno artifacts to interested Imperial subjects, and the Imperial trinkets to Xenos. Business is going well. My network runs even without my participation. But when it comes to expansion, well, that is where I hit a wall. Rivals, envious of my success. Joe throws up her hands, Falco especially. I am certain the theft of the cargo was his doing, but I can never predict what that Ashmag will do next. And while the Imperium's authority may be fragmented in the Expanse, it could crack down on people of my profession at any moment. Go on. If the rogue trader put in a good word for me with the servants of the Adeptus Administratum, I could become an official trade representative of the Imperium. Just imagine it. A little scrap of paper will offer me and my agents protection against Ashmag's schemes. Far better than any refractor field. And even the Inquisition will have to think twice before they mess with me, because I'll be a representative of the law in my own right. But why would the Imperium agree to let you trade in Xenos artifacts? I thought they considered that heresy. And the best part of all is this. The best part of all is that this will cost you precisely nothing, Shireen. All you have to do is stop by the Administratum Palace and obtain a certificate from the Master of Seals. What Administratum Palace? Where? My informants tell me that the palace is located on Darganos. Okay, there we go. Your capital world. You see how everything is aligned so wonderfully? And of course, I will repay you in kind. How do I benefit from your gaining official status? Besides being in receipt of my eternal gratitude, Shireen? Joe playfully raises a brow. Won't it be beneficial to have someone in your retinue with the weight of the authority behind them, rather than just another pawn? One slip of paper, and I will be able to extend my network to systems far beyond footfall. My agents will be your ears and eyes, throughout the Expanse. Okay. I would never allow your ilk to lay so much as a finger on true power. You are an ulcer on the body of the Imperium. Thank the exalted one that I have not yet incinerated you in righteous flames. Do you really think that I care one jot about the travails of Casbalican scum? Ha ha ha, sensible enough, I'll help you. Exalted one, bless you, Shireen. I couldn't find a better business partner in all the Expanse. Joe ponders for a moment, and then graces you with a dazzling smile. Friendship is a gift from the Exalted One, and we must cherish it. And you have no complaints about our friendship, Shireen. I may not be a trade representative of the Imperium just yet, but I can still help you with whatever you need. You must have some faction in mind that you would like to establish relations with. The severe Drusians, the hot-headed pirates of the Casbalica. You merely need to use the right words, like a key for a lock, and people will open their hearts to you. Or their wallets. I will arrange everything, you merely have to ask. Well, don't we already have open cooperation with the Casbalica, courtesy of the Liege? I wish to develop friendly relations with the Drusians, the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are the partners I need now. How am I supposed to know the difference? I wouldn't mind having closer ties to the pirates of the Expanse. I mean, that seems like a harder one to get. Well, that's the Fellowship of the Void, who I already have a relationship with. Oh, it's just an extra 2,000 to whomever. Does it tell me anything other than that? No. Okay. See, my relationship with the Fellowship of the Void isn't that bad. Explorators. Drusians. Casbalica mission. I don't know. I don't know if I am allowed to spread my favors across everybody, or whether I just don't have enough to get to the top tier or something, or whether I should be focusing on one particular faction. I have no idea. Let's say the Drusians. Whoever they are. Not a problem, Shireen. I will have my people put in a good word for you in the right circles. I will humbly wait until you steer your vessel towards Darganos. Yeah, it's not my first port of call, so you might be waiting a bit. The Mercatum Tabula Officiale. It sounds like almost as majestic as the Warrant of Trade. Alrighty. So she wants me to stop by there. Talk to the Master of Seals. Yeah, I'm going to Janus first. Argenta? Argenta. Argenta, there you are. You wish to speak?
Greetings.
Hi, I'm waiting for you to tell me about your past and to explain the strange words of that cultist on Footfall. That is a strange way to explain it, but okay.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Is the warrant something that should be freely exposed to people, or is it something precious that should be kept under lock and key so no one else sees it? I'm not quite sure of the importance of it. Okay, let's go to there right away. Yet another private conversation. Have you prayed sufficiently? Agenda drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature on the warrant, a seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me with flames of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest a light in me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me with wrath of fury and of righteousness. Agenda's voice is sonorous, as if made for singing hymns and prayers, but right now she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion is she. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to servants of thine, and ruin to foes of thine, a fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes and remains silent for a long time with her head raised high. Slowly, like the first licks of flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. When Agenda finally opens her eyes, they are alight with uncanny resolution. Rogue Trader, we need to talk. Or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valencius' ship, and about the cultists being counted on footfall. Am I to understand that you lied to me? No. Agenda's cheeks redden with indignation. I am one of the Adeptus Sororitas, a bearer of the Emperor's tenets, and I do not lie. She catches her breath. Before, I wasn't ready to speak candidly with you. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story, and you'll see why. Agenda pauses. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by the Reverend Hieronymus' mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will, in a way. Agenda falters, searching for the words. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest, a feral world away from convenient warp routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. I've never heard of such a planet. Does it belong to the von Valencius dynasty? Yes. Now the planet is yours by right, but it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I will explain in due time. May I continue? Sure. The description of Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend. The legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint. She's my patroness. The Order named me after her. She died millennia ago, when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes, or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place for the saints' remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts. And suddenly I, myself named after the saint, come across this information. I realized at that moment that it was a portent, that I must journey to the planet and find the ship. And so I asked Reverend Hieronymus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salus Prime. Why did you keep your supposition from Reverend Hieronymus? Surely he could have helped you with the search for the ship and the saint's remains. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was a portent revealed to me personally. Can't you see? No, I'm not particularly religious. I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth, that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I had laid my hand on her remains in the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the saint's favor. Your actions are driven by hubris, Argenta. It's as if you want to keep the discovery all to yourself. I don't disagree. That's understandable. Searching for your destiny, for your place in the world, is a special matter, a personal one. You either succeeded at it or you don't. That was irresponsible of you. If you'd gotten yourself killed on the planet, no one would have learned about its existence and the holy relic would have been lost. If you were the only one who realized what you were dealing with once the planet had been described to you, then the secret was yours and no one else's, as is a decision of what to do about it. That's fair. Yeah, fair. I'm glad that you understand me. I had been called. I still think she's suffering from hubris, but yeah, if you're the one to put pieces together, then I suppose it's your responsibility, and yours alone to deal with it. And thus it was my business and mine alone. I imagine Theodora was still a prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. You mentioned something called the One Star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away I forgot to explain. The One Star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the Order Pronatus, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at times calls it a banner, or a set of armor, or a blessed chainsaw. Jesus, could you make up your mind as to what it is? One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost with Argenta's death. Okay, what happened next? Defeat, Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. Well, your heart isn't exactly pure, it's stained with pride. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennia-old tales, and I was certain that I had found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. The words we heard on the heretic's shrine on footfall, something about ways, doors, pleas addressed to some lord, the edge of daybreak. Argenta was shaking with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salus Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had led to search for the relic. It was only a miracle I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on footfall, the cultists on Salus Prime, the cultists attacking the ship and Conrad's betrayal. What if these are all links in the same chain? What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valencia's servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? No, they were very clearly there before you were. Sadly, the only one who might have the answers, Conrad, escaped. No need to blame yourself. If the heretics really had wormed their way into the Von Valencia's ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. True, because it was a newly discovered planet, and Theodora was going there anyway. I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Conrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora, and supported me in my effort to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine that Vulture must have figured out that it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium, and what could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic. Oh yes, I sincerely hope that we will meet him again. That serpent needs to answer a few questions before he is plunged into cleansing flame. Sad you managed to escape from the cultists. Argenta hangs her head. Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue, and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened. When they arrived, I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. And that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader. Argenta looks you in the eye. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colours as a servant of the archenemy. I'd already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of the cultists, and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption, or the light of righteousness, which I don't possess. And what did you find? So just to clarify, you were wounded, so you never found St. Argenta's ship, is that right? A woman who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultists of footfall. Argenta smiles, as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends rather than a bloody battle. Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Salus Prime to defend the relic from the heretics. But I was told that the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort, as if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down the servants of the archenemy. In any event, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead, the data that we collected in the cultist shrine on footfall. I don't care what the reprobate we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? There is nothing I wouldn't do to reclaim a sacred object for the people of the Imperium. If it's important to you, I will help. Searching for ancient ships and relics is an exciting prospect. Of course I'll help you. If the accursed Final Dawn is involved again, it is my duty to help you. That cult must be reduced to ashes throughout the entire Koronus Expanse. Oh please, I'm not that noble. Adenta walks up and places a hand on your shoulder. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. And may the light be with both of us on this path. I kind of regret taking her out of my party just to see how Jai functions. Because I really like Argenta. And I liked her playstyle. She was like my one constant at killing people. So my foray with Jai might be a brief. It serves no purpose to have the two of them on the team. Okay. Is that everybody's problems sorted? Yep. Let's go. It's time to boogie. I'm assuming Victus is all good.